two Italians, Francesco Gavazzeni, an IT analyst, and Carlisi Gabriella, a medico-legal, studied images of Paul McCartney taken before and after the alleged death, with the intention to put the rumors to rest. Their findings were not what they expected, and their conclusion was that there is high probability that it is not the same person, based on analysis of the shape of the skull and jaw, the lips, the nose, the ears, and the palate and teeth. The findings found the mandibular curve between the two sets of photos showed a discrepancy of over 6%, well beyond the threshold of error. There is a change in the development of the mandibular profile. Before 1966, each side of the jaw is composed of two curves. Since 1967, it appears to be a single curve. There is therefore a curve morphological difference. Continuing with the lips, compared to that of Sgt. Pepper's, we see clearly that the lip commissura, that is the line formed by the upper and lower lips, suddenly stretched, which is not possible, and that the whiskers cannot camouflage. In other words, the phenomenon that is all too frequent these days. The lips can be inflated and increased in volume, but the width of the lip commissura cannot vary that much. The difference between the before and after is too strong to have been caused by any surgery. Always under the mustache on Sgt. Pepper was the nose spine, the point between the two nostrils where the nose begins to fall off the face. This is also, in this case, a distinctive feature that medicine cannot alter with surgery. It can change the shape of the nose, but not the nose spine. The McCartney from the first group of photos and the second clearly varies the ears, or more specifically the trago. We have them on each ear, but the characteristics are different for every human being. In Germany, a recognition procedure, craniometrics identification of the right ear, is even equivalent to a fingerprint. It is the small cartilage covered with skin that overhangs the entrance to the ear and ear canal, and like the whole ear, cannot be changed surgically. How then to explain the differences between the right ear of Paul McCartney in a previous snapshot to 1966 and one from the late 90s? Things that ordinary mortals might seem irrelevant or unclear, but every day allowing the experts to locate and identify persons' bodies from photographs. And finally, the teeth and palate. There are some impossible things and things that are possible but at the cost of operations long, painful, and never perfect. Especially if done in the 60s. Our experts give a lot of information here, but the gist is that the new McCartney's palate is wider, which the surgery for such a change could not be hidden in just a year of the recovery that would have been needed. Also, the old McCartney had a crowded palate, which caused his teeth to be pushed out. The new McCartney had a resembling protruding anomaly, but without the explanation of how. Our experts even say, quote, it's like if you wanted to recreate a detail in a mouth where such an anomaly would have never been able to express. So it's evidence that surgery was done on the new McCartney to imitate the real Paul McCartney's mouth. These findings were released in an article in Wired Italia in their August 2009 edition. And to counterattack it, Paul McCartney went on David Letterman the week of the release on July 15th. 2009, telling his Beatles stories and talking about pictures as if he was the real Paul McCartney. But then once again, he tells us the truth.
People did start looking at me like,
right.
Is it him? Yeah. Or a very good double?
Well, that was the idea. That was the other part of it, that there was a guy who looked like you taking your place.
No, well, this is him.
Yeah.